We are live. Hey, hi, and we are off. It is Wednesday, September 29th. Armani and Edwards on the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards. Young man, how you doing, my friend?
Doing good. You know, trying to get my earpiece in, trying to make sure that was together. But, you know, I think sometimes in life you got to recharge, and refocus. And I think that's what, I did today, coming into work, recharge, get focused, ready for my topics, ready to be with my team and my crew. I'm excited about today, man.
Let me tell you something about working with Braylon Edwards, Tom Massaway, and you know this just as
good
as anybody. There isn't a guy in the building that makes you feel as good as this guy right here. I mean, he bought us lunch, bought the station lunch, had a delivery, and gave us a pep talk before the show. Seriously, who's better than this guy? I used to think it was you.
And he matches. Look at those sneakers. Look at that hat. Look at that shirt.
Go blue, baby.
When I grow up, I want to be this guy.
Hey, man, when I grow up, I want to work in an atmosphere that is conducive to success and just fun. Oh, wait, I do. I work with you guys.
I'm telling you, we are having some fun today, and it's just one of those days. Maz, I did not say hello to you yesterday. I know you took umbrage with that, so I want to officially welcome you to the show and say good afternoon to you, my friend.
What up, fellas? What up, Detroit? Let's have some fun.
And we are going to have some fun today, ladies and gentlemen. Big show for you coming up today at 2:36. We're going to have Tom E. Curran. He's the Patriots insider for NBC Sports Boston. Played a clip from him yesterday. He was questioning Bill Belichick and really pressing him on the issue of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and what went wrong at the end. And did you try to convince Tom to come back? And Belichick wouldn't answer the question. And Tom kept pressing him. We're going to have him on at 2:36 today.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited to see that. You know, with Tommy Curran, you don't typically see individuals frustrate Bill Belichick. You see Belichick give his same kind of monotone answers and kind of always dictate the pace of conversation as he always has done. In that one particular interview, in that one particular second, he just seemed flustered. He seemed annoyed with Tommy Curran, and he got caught in almost a lie. So I'm excited to talk to Tommy and talk about that moment and much more with the big game coming up this Sunday.
And, Maz, we appreciate you grabbing him for us as well. That's
My
a good
pleasure.
job, Maz. Yeah, that was great.
He's a great guest. He's going to have some great stuff for us. And there's a lot of stuff out there about Belichick and Brady and even Robert Kraft against Belichick. There's a thing in the New York Post today. There's a book coming out. And the owner of the Patriots, who is a big Belichick and who loves Brady, he calls Belichick one of the biggest a-holes he's ever met in his life. But he's never turned his back on him, and he's still his head coach.
No, it's all about winning, right?
Yeah,
and if it's good for business, that's what you do. I wanted to make this correlation, too, as we start the show today. So I was reading a story about Mila Kunis. And if you had the over-under on 3 minutes before I mentioned Mila Kunis today during the show, you would be a winner or a loser, depending upon which side you had.
I would have lost that bet.
So
I love Mila Kunis, by the way. Family Guy. Oh, my God, that 70s show. Ashton Kutcher. The movie she's in, the role she plays. She has like a Jennifer Aniston type thing in terms of her humor. But she's gotten serious, too, a little bit. I like her. She has range.
Braylon, who's better than Mila Kunis?
Nobody
right now. Maz, do you like Mila Kunis?
Oh, yeah.
So I bring you sick. So I bring Mila Kunis up as a way to get here. So she was on the Ellen show yesterday. We love Ellen. She was on the Ellen show yesterday, and earlier this summer, a couple of months ago, it was a big to-do.
Huge fan of the Ellen show,
that
man.
She does not bathe her kids. That was the headline. That was the clip that they took from this 2-hour Dax Shepard podcast.
Dak Shepard's a funny guy.
Dak Shepard podcast. Detroit's own.
It's like the thing in Hollywood now. No one's bathing. Matthew McConaughey talks about not bathing. Julia Roberts talks about not using deodorant.
Not showering?
Like, not showering. Like, it's a serious thing. Some of them don't shower.
What?
A lot of them don't use fragrances or deodorant or things of that nature. It's a very, I don't even want to call it organic. It's just straight like back to the Stone Age type stuff.
It's a little different than how we live. But the point is that Mila Kunis on Ellen yesterday said that whole big to-do about the fact that she doesn't bathe her kids was so taken out of context. And when you take a little clip from a 2-hour podcast and people run wild for the headline, for the 1-minute clip, you have no idea what you're talking about because you didn't listen to the 2-hour context of the conversation. 100%. And the reason why I bring that up is because of our show.
Yes.
Clips you may have seen from me online. For 1 minute, yesterday, 32 seconds, Braylon 28 seconds, a 1-minute clip about the Detroit Lions and how we feel about this franchise without listening to the 2-hour concept of the show, the context of what we were talking about. You lose that when you don't hear everything. And I understand, part of this business too, Braylon, part of what we're doing in a streaming service is people don't have 2 hours to listen. They just don't. Sometimes you get 20 minutes here, 2 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 15 minutes there, an hour here maybe. Very rare that somebody will listen for a full 2 hours.
I think back in the day, they did it the same way back in the day with the news. Even before streaming and social media and Instagram and things of that nature, they were always doing this. The news, they would take quick hits and you wouldn't be able to get a feel for the whole conversation, the whole story piece. But I think there was more professionalism as it relates to news stations and things of that nature in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s. Now everybody's trying to get some information out. Like, everybody's trying to get quick hits out, and they'll take something from a show like ours and they'll put it on their feed and they'll show just 10 seconds or just this quick blurb or just this quick quote as opposed to the whole of the paragraph. They just put out a little quote or the whole of the interview in the video. They just put out a little blurb. People are doing that for clout. That's what they call that. They're doing it for clout, and it messes up the game when you have individuals like yourself who you speak amazingly about the Detroit Lions, amazingly about the piece. You give some information, give some good information, factual information, and then all of a sudden it comes down to one little piece that they take out and they want to cultivate it and shape it for their narrative, for their piece.
Well, in part of what we're doing here too is it is a business, and look, and I read the comments. I saw many of the comments beneath these videos when Woodward Sports tweets them out. Right. I get it. I understand. For us, for a guy like me, I'm 42 years old. I know a little something about views and clicks, but I've been in this business for 20 years now. Yeah. Since I was 22 years old, I'm 42 now. I've been in this business I am who I am. Whether I get one view on something or 30,000 views on something, it is what it is. It's authentic. It's coming from a place of love, frustration, passion, whatever the case may be. But when you
first research. You do your homework.
Yesterday,
You live it.
I do. And yesterday I did a thing of the last 25 years of Detroit Lions football, and I gave a number of facts. And look, it is what it is. I'm passionate. People were calling what I said on Monday or on Tuesday, a hot take. Clown in the Detroit Lions. So, I'm genuinely curious what these people want who are commenting on the video. Do they want us to come out here and say, "Oh man, Detroit Lions, man, 0-3, but so good. We're the second youngest team in the league, man. We played hard against the Baltimore Ravens." I don't get it. We did say that. We did say that, by the way. But you call that a hot take in 2021? I call that Monday in football season as a Detroit Lions fan.
It's Blue Monday, baby.
It's Blue Monday.
That's not some hot take that I'm trying to get views on some social media site. I call that Monday in football season being a Lions fan.
Yeah, and I think one of the bigger problems is, too, for the Detroit Lions fan, the fan base. That includes you, by the way. Yeah. Let them know. That includes us in the fan base. But I think we've been so used to coaches that we haven't liked, I think they've gotten a coach in the fan base that they really like. They really like Dan Campbell. They like his energy. They like his authenticity, his genuineness. They like the way in which he approaches the game. They like the conversations that he has with the media and the press. So they're high on him, and they know that it's a new era, and they know they're building towards something new. So I think the big thing with the fan base is they don't want to talk about the past. So I think when you bring up information and you use the past in that information and in that backing, although it's factual information, although it goes with what you're doing, I just think that they looked at it as, hey, no, we just want to talk about Dan Campbell. We just want to talk about him being undermanned and unprepared in his his first year. He's undermanned, unprepared. Give him a second. So they want you to string the line out. They want you to hold it and not say too much and be nice and coddle, so don't talk about the past. I want you to call it like it is. This is our show. We're going to call it like it is. The Lions have not won a game yet, but we've seen some good stuff. We've seen some positive, and we've also seen some bad. What will we see against the Chicago Bears this week, a team that's worse than us, in my opinion?
And that's really the question. And, Braylon, I think you hit the nail on the head, or use any analogy you want. Because the fans like Dan Campbell, you give that guy a little bit more rope, don't you? A little 100%. Bit. We didn't like Matt Patricia. I mean, the second day of training camp, people were saying what a jerk he was. Yep. So that kind of transitions your mind immediately into this guy's a jerk. And it turned out he was a jerk. People loved Jim Caldwell, though. Yeah. I mean, people loved Jim Caldwell.
And he had a winning record.
And he made the playoffs.
3 times. 3 times.
So, I mean.
Not really, though. I mean, people complained about his game management.
Well,
people complained. I complained that he never even talked to a referee because that's not his way.
Right.
He's a gentleman, Jim Caldwell. I didn't like the way he managed the game. I didn't like the way he didn't protect the Lions against the Cowboys in that playoff game. Mm-hmm. He could have went right up to that referee, and his name escapes me.
Right.
But he never did. And was he a great guy? Did everyone love him? Yes.
100%.
Was he 100% on board with all Lion fans? No.
And that's what the thing is, and I should have clarified that before I said Jim Caldwell, like in terms of being liked and having a winning record. They liked him, but the bigger thing with Dan Campbell is the personality. See, Dan Campbell is a person you can feel close to. Dan Campbell is a guy in the Detroit Lions fan base you may never meet, but you can equate him to a family member. You can equate him to somebody you work with. You can equate him to somebody you grew up with. He comes off as just a guy, a high-octane guy nonetheless, but just a guy that you can be personal with, and he puts his personality out there for the fan base to really revel in and appreciate. So I think that's why you're seeing it. He seems like someone they can talk to and have a beer with at the bar. You're not going to have a beer with Jim Caldwell. It's called a spade a spade. You're not going to have a beer with with Matt Patricia. I think Dan Campbell is a guy that the fan base believe. I believe it. I believe it. That you can have a beer with that guy. So I see why they like him, and I see what they attack, but we're also doing a job, and that job is they're 0-3, but we have seen some positive things.
I want to get into some Lions, Bears. I do have one other thought on this when we come back. 30-second pause. Lions, Bears. Also, the Lions have to cut a player. And a lot of people kind of shaking their heads at what happened there, too, with that. But we got lots more. Tom Curran, Patriots Insider, coming up at 2:30 as well. Lots to get to on a Wednesday. This is Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag. Our studio sponsors, our good friends. Where else would you want to put your bets in except MyBookie, the only sports book that offers online super contests so you can't miss out on this exclusive promotion. Enter now. Turn $10 into $10,000. Week 5 through 8, make 5 picks against the spread. Get them all right. Earn the points, rise up the standings, take home the $10,000 grand prize. You don't even need to get them all right. You just need to be better than everybody else. Packers, Bucks, Titans, Vikings, Ravens, you got it. You're already set. And if you need another reason to head to mybookie.ag, celebrate the start of the MLB playoffs next Tuesday. You know it. It's the AL wild card. 5 teams going for 2 spots. Who are you going to play? MyBookie is hosting a $20,000 blackjack tournament that is absolutely free to enter. Winning season's here. Use mybookie.ag, the promo code Woodward. When you make that first deposit, you'll receive double your deposit. Use promo code Woodward to double your funds. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Man, speaking of the AL wildcard spot, what about Giancarlo Stanton?
Look at you.
Maz.
He's fired up.
I'm not trying to jinx your boys, but Giancarlo Stanton is a man
Him
amongst
and Judge,
boys.
they're the best 1-2 punch in baseball. All they got to do is stay on the field.
Between the two of them, they have 29 home runs, 15, 19, 34 home runs in the last month and a half.
Braylon came in today all fired up about
I'm ready, baby.
Stanton.
How about those Cardinals? 17 in a row.
17 in a row. You know 17 is
Let's
my
talk
number.
baseball.
Right.
How about that? Everyone loves that.
Hey, gosh, by the way, nobody mentioned my hair today.
I'm sorry.
Wicked awesome.
Oh, my
I
God.
feel
Look
terrible.
at this. Hey, can we track down Ashley back there? Look at Ashley back there. Ashley, wave, everybody.
There we go.
Yes. Thank you. Look at that dude. Come on in and see Ashley here at 15 in Woodward.
They
Lady
gave
Jane's
my boy
Haircuts
Justin a
for
good
Men.
wash
Oh,
earlier.
man, I'm
Oh,
telling
man.
you. My goodness. Hey, before we jump into some of the lines, talk, last thing about this head coach situation and this regime situation from me.
Yeah.
Because people like Dan Campbell, they do give him an extra bit of rope. You do. You want the guy to succeed so bad. You want this organization to succeed so bad. I want Dan Campbell to succeed so bad and this organization to succeed so bad. But I do think how you feel about somebody personally clouds your judgment a little bit in terms of judging them for their merits.
Yeah, 100%. You know, there is times where I go see movies and I make my family go see movies because there's a particular director that I like, and you go see a movie and the family, they're not too enthralled with the first couple minutes of the movie. They don't like it, and you're like, hold on, just wait, stop talking about him. It's a good movie. He produces hits. He's going to be okay. So, and you have to sit in there and you wait. We're in that phase right now where we're sitting in and we're waiting. We're waiting for the producer and we're waiting for the director to put something together and show you why you brought the fans to the audience, brought the fans to Ford Field. I'm telling you. It's gonna happen, but you gotta bear with it. You gotta call it as you see it, and you can't change what you are.
Here's a perfect example of giving the guy a little extra rope because you like him.
Yeah.
This situation with Jamie Collins is a disaster.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. And that's not me trying to be some hot take kind of guy. The situation with Jamie Collins turned out to be a disaster. You have this player that, is making a ton of money. You're trying to be respectful of the player, so you say, stay home, we'll try to trade you. You make your intentions known that you're trying to trade a guy.
And you lowered the trade value, by the way, too.
The minute you come out and say that, and what happens now? You got to cut him, and you got all this dead money now. I mean, this is a disaster. Take Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes out of it and replace those names with Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn, and what are we doing right now?
We're killing them.
We're killing them.
Yeah.
We're killing them.
It's their guys, by the way, that everyone. Is there anyone left from that regime? Is there anyone left?
Taylor Decker?
Taylor Akuda?
I'm talking about Patriot free agents. Free agent
zero.
people. Yeah.
Zero.
Nobody.
Yeah.
There's nobody left.
But, I mean, am I not wrong there?
No, you're 100%.
I mean, I'm trying to be real nice today, but let's be honest. If
I can't believe you didn't get a 7th-round pick for him.
But
round
that's
pick
just the
for him.
point. If Matt Patricia comes out and says, you know what, just now we're gonna go younger. We're gonna put Jamie Collins up for trade.
It's fire season,
and then Bob Quinn's
open.
unable to trade him, and you got $55 million dead money on the cap.
You got guys outside of Ford Field like, hey, what are you guys doing in there? Hey, excuse me, are you guys home? What are you doing in there?
So I mean, like. Forgive me a little bit. I'm just trying to call it like I see it a little bit.
Do you think? Can I cut
please,
in?
I'm
please.
dying for
Go
you to.
2 years ago, and go a couple of days before the draft. What did the Lions do? They signed Chase Daniel. So what did the Dolphins do? They're like, we don't even have to move, and we're going to get Tua. The Lions show their hand. Now, I know that was the old regime. They showed their hand. The rest of the league is not going to trade with the Lions at that point. They had to stick and take who they got. They got Okudah. Now they tell everybody, hey, Jamie Collins is done here. We're going to trade him. This was 2 weeks ago. You could have saw the writing on the wall 3 weeks ago that he wasn't going to play much. And guess what? Matt Patricia and all those people now back with the Patriots are like, they're not going to get anything for this guy. Let's just wait. They're going to have to get rid of him, and we're going to sign him on Friday. So they show I think they show their hand too quickly. Maybe I'm wrong, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Which is possible.
Which is absolutely possible. Right. All right,
No,
but if you have a bad poker face, don't you want to play poker with that guy?
But that's the point. Like, are you judging this organization, this regime by, Lions standards? Where you are in the process, or by NFL standards?
It's continuing. That's all I'm saying.
I just think what the fan base and what people in general need to do as it relates to this Detroit Lions and this new regime, what you need to do is, we don't have to talk about the past, or if we bring up the past, we're only doing it to make a point. I need you to just look yourself in the mirror. Talking about the fan base, look yourself in the mirror and just notice how things are stacking up. Just pay attention to things that are happening on the wrong side of right. Just pay attention to the yelling and the argument between the DB coach and the DB on the sideline. That was the thing. Now, it got corrected, but it was a thing at the time. Look at this thing that's going on with Jamie Collins. It was a thing at the time. Look at the timeout that was taken last game that cost. That was another thing. Just start to add these things up, and you'll see, well, maybe this isn't what we want. Maybe this isn't what we thought we were going to get. So just pay attention and do the work for yourself. See the things that are stacking up. Don't just take our word for it. Things are starting to stack up, and it's going against the respect and what we were thinking in the beginning of the season during training camp. That's all I'm saying.
The proof is in the pudding, as you said.
Yeah, 100%. The proof is in the pudding.
Let me ask you guys a legitimate question.
It's still early, but we are keeping account.
Let me ask you guys a legitimate question. Before the season started, after the San Francisco game, where did you think the Lions would end up after 17 weeks? What was going to be their record this season?
3 or 4 wins.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4 wins max. Okay. All right. So they're about on pace. One of those wins you may think would come this week against the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
A Chicago Bears team that is in absolute flux. In fact, a Chicago Bears team that many believe Matt Nagy, their head coach, will be fired if, in fact, they lose to the Lions.
He should be.
That's how much they think of your team here, that Matt Nagy is possibly going to get fired. Let's put it up. Here's the tweet from Eric Lamberti. Matt Nagy is definitely on the hot seat. There is a growing sense that with Bill Lazar on staff and Sean Desai running the defense, firing Nagy in season would not be as dramatic a move as it would have been in the past for years. So there are a couple.
Laser was here. Remember him?
Yeah.
He was one of ours back in the day.
Yeah. Good old Bill Laser.
Yeah, good old the laser beam. He was here. Did you hear?
Good old lazy
Did you hear my man Dan Orlovsky just on Monday?
Oh, man.
What did he have to say?
After that Bears game, check this out.
He got after it.
Can I have the camera? I'm going to do a personal camera. Can I get the camera?
Go ahead.
Okay. The Chicago Bears should fire Matt Nagy today.
Dang.
Because yesterday's game plan, which was the worst one I've ever seen in my life, was either negligence or intentional. It's been 149 days since the Bears drafted Justin Fields. You had 149 days to start to build a game plan around the skill set of this young man, and it was an embarrassment. Justin Fields threw the ball 20 times yesterday. 13 times they went with 5-man protection with no help for their offensive line. 13 out of 20. Yesterday you showed us that you are incapable of designing the proper game plan around a dynamic quarterback, or you showed us that it was intentional, that you wanted him to fail and you set him up to be a disaster.
That is as strong a comment on a head coach that I have ever seen in my life. And again, it wasn't malicious.
Yeah.
It was factual.
You want to piss somebody off, misrepresent a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback in this NFL league, and I guarantee you, analysts that are former quarterbacks themselves will let you have it about yourself. I remember when Steve Young went off on Adam Gase about the Sam Darnold situation. This is very similar. The things he's saying, those are trivial things. You put a guy in there, you give him a good game plan, you give him a chance to have some success, you run the ball, throw the ball to the tight end, you max protect on some plays, you bet slide protection, you bring the tight end. For them to not protect him at all, like Dan is saying, man, that's scary. That's scary. It's almost negligent.
Braylon, you said you want to piss somebody off. I thought you were going to say, give them some facts.
No, there are things.
Where's Sean? Where's Belichick? Facts are mean.
Facts are mean. The great Sean Belichick. That's a quote from him. There is no question about
I miss that guy.
Absolutely. We love Sean Belichick. Doing great things, though, at WJR in the morning. So we certainly congratulate Sean. Braylon, I want to ask you about a former coach of yours that is apparently in the mix now to get to USC. We'll ask about Lions coach Anthony Lynn. We'll do that next. This is Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Take a good look, ladies and gentlemen. I am living
Look
proof
at him.
that you have never seen a better haircut than this right now.
It's clean cut right there, man. It's clean cut.
Wee! My goodness. And you want to talk about simple? Let me tell you something about it. I like two things. I want things simple, easy, quick, and nice. And look at this. Here at Lady Jane's, we are open 10 to 8 every day. 7 days a week, open at 10, you close at 8. You got to find a time to come sit down, because all you got to do is come sit down, sign in, all that good stuff. Then you get a haircut, and it's over with. And it is, by the way, whether it's a hot lather neck shave, whether it's a nice shampoo.
Lathering yourself up, man.
I got all lathered up
Not to mention,
here.
you can go to Birmingham Roast right there,
Let
too, man.
me tell
It's a
you a
2 for
thing
1.
or two about this Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Okay, first, it's wicked awesome. And now, if we can get Ashley once again to wave. Ashley, wave. Thank you, everybody.
There we go.
Ashley.
And the Maz cam.
Cut my hair today in the Maz cam.
It's a good look, man. It's
Just fantastic stuff. But let me throw up the tweet here, if I could. It is in regards to Braylon Edwards, former coach, Mr. Anthony Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Jim Trotter of the NFL Reporter.
Oh, great reporter.
Tweets up, USC boosters have reached out to Lions offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn to gauge his interest in the university's vacancy. The answer, he would be interested in the job. To date, there has been no contact between the school and Lynn. Now, that tweet is about 36 hours old, so I don't know if there has been contact yet. But I would say that seems like a perfect fit for Anthony Lynn, too, to go be a head coach in Los Angeles once again.
Yeah, 100%. He's familiar with the area, being there with the Los Angeles Chargers. I think the good thing about Anthony Lynn, too, man, he has that discipline. Like, I've played with Coach Lynn. Coach Lynn was a running backs coach when I was in Cleveland, as well as New York Jets. And he's a young guy. He played in the league, so he has the coolness. But he's not about any BS. Like, he's disciplined. He's a disciplinarian type guy. Knows how to get the best out of his players. It would be a cool look for them, man, because you look at that stability. Because USC isn't in the business of firing and hiring very soon. You see how long Helton was there. Helton was there 8 seasons, if I remember correctly. So you go out there, there's some stability out there. You know the area. You don't have to worry about going back and forth, And he just was out there. He's probably still has his house out there, realistically speaking. I definitely can see him taking that job, and I know for a fact the boosters are reaching out. There's something to it.
Yeah, I mean,
we better get him on here quick then, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, we've asked
That's
for
where
him
he
a
won't
couple
be
of times here, so let's.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, we'll get you on.
But the thing with Anthony Lynn is because one of the most successful parts of the Lions team so far through 3 games has been their offense. It has looked pretty
Offensive
darn
line,
good
yeah.
at times. The run game, DeAndre Swift has looked good. Jared Goff has looked really good at times. And, you know, in the NFL, you change head coaches, let alone assistant coaches, many times throughout one's career. Would this sort of hamper the Lions' rebuild, or this? Or you tell me. How different is it?
Here's the flip side of that before we really get into it. The other thing about it is, man, this is USC. You know, this isn't him leaving to go to University of Virginia or leaving to go to Tech. And I don't want to slight. And I don't want to slight any institution. Him leaving to go to Texas A&M or just leave to be a head coach to say, hey, I'm back in the head coaching seat. This is USC. You know, this is one of the most storied teams ever. It's one of 4 of the major teams not to have gone to a playoff so far yet. That's Michigan, Texas, USC, and I forget the other one. This is a good job. So now, to answer your question, would the Lions suffer from losing A-Lin? I don't know that they would, because I haven't seen an offensive, like a high-powered offense. I haven't seen something that was special. I haven't seen something that you're like, oh, man, that's really his signature. I've seen a really good offensive line at times and play, and I've seen Jared Goff, who's been to a Super Bowl, make some plays, and I've seen some athleticism from DeAndre Swift, a guy that we drafted because of his athleticism. So if he were to leave, I don't think it would be a huge gap, but I think it would be a huge gap in the space of what kind of coach he is and what kind of guy he is to be around on a day-to-day.
He's a good man, and
exactly.
I got to know him through Hard Knocks last year, watching him with the Chargers, and they let him go. You know, it is what it is. He was going to take the year off. Dan Campbell didn't come knocking on his door. He was taking the year off. He was going to chill out, be with his family, and he probably would have been a lock for that USC job. Now he's still here, and you know he's here for the short term because he was a head coach before. He'll probably be a head coach again, and now at USC, of course, that would be a slam dunk. But he has nothing to work with here, really. He did get the rushing game going. Got to give him that.
Now
that's his MO.
I take a step back. You're right. He did get the offensive line going.
One thing about Anthony Lynn too, and you know, Lions offensive coordinator. That's assuming, and again, this is a big assumption that he'll get that job and then he'll leave, or when he'll leave, or whatever the case may be. It just sounds like Anthony Lynn is a short-time offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. Is that fair to say? I mean, he's a big-name guy. He's a head coach of the NFL. He'll probably get another look somewhere, be it in college or the NFL. So he's probably not going to be the coordinator for the Lions for the next 5-6 years, right? I mean,
that's definitely fair to say. And also, you know, when boosters go after, and keep in mind, like this is boosters. This isn't the University of USC. This isn't necessarily the Regents side of things, because we all know Regents are who hire coaches in college football. But so it isn't necessarily the Regents or the team. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But the fact that they're reaching out, the fact that they're making it public that the boosters did reach out, boosters have their hands in everything all over, you know, the sports world. So the fact that they're reaching out to Anthony Lynn means they know somebody, and they know something, they know the chance, or maybe they've already reached out, like you said, in terms of taking the year off. Maybe it already was out there, and this is something that Dan Campbell might already know about.
You know, whether Anthony Lynn stays here or goes, I'm not even sure. For the block of fans out there, and there are 2 types of fans out there. Do you know the kind of fans that I'm talking about a little bit?
Of
Michigan
course.
State, Michigan?
No, let me give you a sense of there's 2 different kinds of Lions fans.
Let me see.
Here they are. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter, we'll get it for you in a couple of minutes.
Stick and Anson.
Yeah, Stick and Anson. We'll get it for you.
We'll just put the picture
Here it is
up.
right now.
There it is from Sunday's postgame show at the Brass Rail.
Thank you, Maz. So there it is right there. That's the moment Justin Tucker's NFL record 66-yard field goal goes through the uprights, or excuse me, goes past the crossbar. You have Stick on the left, who is crushed and devastated.
He's not eating tonight.
And
he won't eat
screaming
dinner
no.
tonight.
Yep, and you have Anson on the right, who is just in all his glory, laughing. You know, even before this kick went in, he said, "You know it's going in, right?" I mean, this is the kind of loss that happens to the Detroit Lions. It was classic. It was as good a take as I've heard.
And the crazy thing about it is, you look at Anson, you look at Stick. There's no separation in terms of one loving the Lions more than the other. Like, the guy on the right loves the Lions, the guy on the left loves the Lions. One guy just has that optimism. He has that continuous hope every week in and week out, that they're going to do it. They're going to win the Super Bowl. Or they're going to beat the Baltimore Ravens. And the other guy is more so like, no, they're not.
Right.
I mean, they're still my team. He's a guy that has a Detroit Lions tattoo on his heart, but he's got to a place where he's laughing to keep from crying.
So let me speak to the guy on the left for a second. the fan on the left. And I know that's stick, by the way, but I'm just metaphorically speaking to the guy on the left. It almost doesn't matter who your offensive coordinator is until you find out who your quarterback is. And if your quarterback is not Jared Goff, this isn't even a rebuild yet. Like until you get the quarterback. The Jacksonville Jaguars are in a rebuild. The New York Jets are in a rebuild. I would contend to you that until you get your quarterback, it doesn't even constitute a rebuild. But I don't know what you know what it constitutes? You're in purgatory. You are in purgatory.
That's where we are right now.
Until you get your quarterback.
We're there right now.
Yeah.
And I am Anson on Sunday because I'm sitting next to my wife on the couch and I'm saying the same thing Anson told Stick. He's going to hit the field goal. We're going to lose on another dramatic fashion. And I was explaining to her about Tom Dempsey back in 1970. Yeah. The original 63-yard field goal with the Saints beating the Lions at Tulane Stadium. And then I said to her on Monday Night Football 5 years prior, Justin Tucker hits a 61-yarder against her. I'm like, you remember Aaron Rodgers' Hail Mary on the Thursday night game just a few years ago. It's just the way it happens. So as bad as I felt, because I really wanted them to win the game, my other brain told me they're 0-3. It's going to help us down the line with another pick, and hopefully we're going to get it right. And by the way, it's just another Lions loss. And I'm not going to cry like I used to.
Right.
I'm going to laugh almost in like a different kind of laugh, like Anson did.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with me is I like the offensive line. Like, I like the offensive line of the Detroit Lions, and I think they're only going to get better when Taylor Decker comes back. You've seen things out of Goff so far this year, and I keep going back to it. That touchdown throw to T.J. Hockenson on Monday Night Football against Green Bay, it's a heck of a throw. That's what you call a dime. He threw a dime. So I've seen enough out of him. I mean, he was 11-5 last year with the Los Angeles Rams. They make the playoffs. He was 10-6 the year before that, 11-5 the year before that. He's had success at the highest level. He's gotten to the Super Bowl. So I think if you put enough around him on the outside, if he had someone outside, then you can mix it in with the run game that you have and the good line play that you have, which is only going to get better when Taylor Decker comes back. So I think you can survive with Jared Goff. And I think if you put people around him, it'll be a little more than surviving.
We're going to take a 30-second pause. It is the game of the week. It is the game of the year and one of the most anticipated games in NFL regular season history. We're going to talk to Patriots insider from NBC Sports Boston, Tom E. Curran. We're going to do that 30 seconds from now. We'll be right back. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Caught me in the act of chewing ice for a minute.
How dare you take 1 second?
Right. Jeez, I mean, that's the difference between being on television and being on radio.
Yeah.
I mean, this streaming thing, nobody's got time for longer than 30-second commercial.
30 seconds.
They're waiting for the skip 5. Skip ads, 5 seconds, right?
It's like, 45 seconds, we're out. We're out of here.
Hey, nobody wants to sit through them. It's all good, though. Hey, it is our pleasure to welcome in from NBC Sports Boston, Patriots insider, Tom E. Curran. Tom, thanks so much for the time, my friend, here on Woodward Sports. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, boys.
Thanks, Tom.
Tom, we're big fans of yours, and let me just get right to it here. Just overall, the sense you get, the build-up, the lead-up to this game. We were talking yesterday. I can't think of 4 or 5 bigger games in the history of NFL regular season football than this one we're going to see on Sunday night. How would you characterize it?
Same. I mean, really, I'm racking my brain, and we've been fortunate enough in New England to have so much drama over the last 25 years. And the only thing that compares, see if you guys can remember, Tuna Bowl 1, when Bill Parcells came back in 1997 to Foxborough Stadium as the head coach of the Jets after he had taken the Patriots to the Super Bowl, came back and played Pete Carroll and Drew Bledsoe. That's the only one that really matches up around here.
Hey, Tommy, Braylon Edwards over here, man. Thank you for coming on the show. Really big fan of your work.
Absolutely, Braylon.
Hey, I'm going to just jump right into it. I'm going to dive right in, and I'm sure Ryan and Tom are going to, have similar questions. But we got to talk about, the interview with Bill Belichick, or at the press conference the other day, the presser. I've seen for years Bill Belichick. I've played against him. I've watched his conferences. I've always seen him. He always seems to have control. He always seems to, have the monotoneness, and he controls the interview. He controls the conversation, leaves when he wants to leave. But it was something about that question that you asked. It was something how you pressed him, and then you pressed him on something that was true. Just talk about, his reaction in that moment, and you kind of just continuing to go after him to kind of pull more and actually make him look more and more uncomfortable. Because I loved it. I love seeing him. I love seeing him flustered. I love seeing him flustered, but not only flustered because I'm a Jets fan, but I love seeing him flustered because it was truth. You were speaking truth.
Well, we've covered him for so long, and I've had a good relationship with him over the 22 years he's been here, and it comes and goes as anything does. But he so often will say, "I've gone over that. We've talked about that. I'm not going back in time. That's behind us." And it's never really been hashed out. And to me, in this moment, Braylon, we're talking about NFL history, and Bill Belichick, being the historian that he is, who values NFL history, to pretend that as one of the three people involved, Belichick, Brady, and Kraft, has already been vetted on this and opened a vein. I thought it was unfair for him to say, well, I've talked about that. Because the option that the Patriots gave to Brady was so ridiculously low compared to his expectations and compared to what the Patriots had said that they would give him in terms of a contract in 2019, that for Belichick to say, well, he just looked at his options and went someplace else. Well, we know why he went someplace else, because the option you gave him sucked. Say it. Say it didn't mesh with it philosophically what you wanted to do. So that's why, it kind of popped out, Braylon, before I even knew it was out of my mouth.
Hey, Tom, this is so intriguing. And look, we're in Michigan. We're in Detroit, Michigan. Braylon's a Michigan guy. I'm a Michigan guy. Matt's a Michigan guy. We love Tom Brady here.
I'm a Jersey guy.
Your college team is Michigan. We love Tom Brady so much. For people on the outside, you can't even understand how things would go so wrong to where Belichick seemingly didn't even want Tom Brady around anymore. And we heard the story, or whatever the story was, the report that Belichick didn't even meet with Tom Brady on the way out, said he was too busy and talked to him on the phone or something. We just can't even believe that. What can you share about that?
Sure. Just on that specific situation, it's not as bad as it sounds. Belichick just didn't haul ass up to Robert Kraft's house so the three of them could talk together. He did it on the phone, and it was a cordial conversation. But 2 weeks prior, when Brady's contract was set to expire, it was before free agency, he and Brady met. And by the time Brady left that meeting, his feeling was he still thinks I'm on the team. He doesn't believe that I'm going to go someplace else. Belichick, instead of talking about a 2-year contract, said, look, the most we can do on the cap is 22.5 this year. And they still weren't talking about a longer term. How did it all happen? I think when we look at it, we can use Lawyer Malloy or Logan Mankins or Richard Seymour or any other Patriot player that Bill Belichick pushed away from the table on and say he was following that track with Brady. As great as he was, there comes a point at which you're like, look, I'm not going to keep pouring money into a guy who I don't know is going to be able to perform at the level that he is, and he takes up a crap load of my salary cap. And Brady, because he felt he had earned a different level of respect and continued to believe that he's going to play at a high level, just couldn't get his mind around that. So that's where the real splintering occurred.
Tommy Curran, of course, from NBC Sports in Boston, Pat's Insider, the best in the biz. I wanted to ask you about this book coming out with Seth Wickersham, and I read an excerpt today that Robert Kraft calling Bill Belichick one of the biggest a-holes he's ever met in his life, and a savant, an idiot savant, but he's never turned his back on him as far as being the coach of his team. What do you take out of that?
He might be an a-hole, but he's my a-hole. Well, you kind of need. I mean, Braylon, Amani, you guys all understand that some of the people who attain the most, especially in a job that asks people, players and coaches, to do things that are unnatural.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, in terms of hours devoted, you're asking people to do really tough work. And sometimes you have to be an a-hole to get them to do that or tap into things. And Bill, growing up where he did as an only child at the Naval Academy and seeing the way things were done there, understands the value of discipline. And discipline means never getting too close to your people. I think Bill has a high regard for his own ability, and he should. And I think that he doesn't suffer fools, and he doesn't get caught up in the pomp and circumstance, which the marketing of an NFL team requires. So, you know, there are times he looks down his nose at ownership or players or the league because he thinks he's bigger than them. And I think that there are people who could contend there's reason for him to feel that way. So I don't think he's an a-hole all the time, but I think we could all agree he's got the moments, which we all do.
Of course he does.
Hey Tom, you should see what an a-hole Maz is over here. I mean, this guy, jeez.
Oh, come on, man.
I can't let you talk about my Maz like that.
Thank you, Brad.
I can't let you talk about my Maz
Tommy,
like
don't
that.
listen to
I
these
got
guys.
you covered, Maz.
Thanks, Brad.
Jets, man. You know we're right here with Jersey guys.
JETS for life, right?
Jets,
One of the worst
baby.
franchises in NFL history. Anyway.
And then he moved to Detroit.
And then I come to Detroit. Isn't that something?
It got worse.
I root for the 3 worst teams in the league. Tommy,
Think about that.
How about Brady's trainer comes out a couple of weeks ago and says that Belichick never changed the way he treated Brady from year 1 to the end, year 19 or so. What's your take on that?
Sure, and I've had a good relationship with Alex Guerrero too, and you know I went and talked to him last week. And again, just like with Robert Kraft's comment, show me the lie. What's untrue about that? I mean, Bill, at the end, was actually taking off the plate of Tom Brady his responsibility in helping to craft the weekly game plan. He was being marginalized. He felt that, and that has been completely flipped since he has gotten to Tampa Bay. But there was no evolution there. And really, the genesis of it was, guys, if you want the hard timeline to know, after they won the Super Bowl in 2016, they come back from 28-3. Brady now had 5 Super Bowl titles. And his group's mindset was, now we're going to do things differently. We're not going to ask Bill if we can start TB12 and promote it or do a book or do Tom versus Time. We're going to do these things because soon Tom's going to be out of the league, and he wants to be a mogul in different platforms, as we're seeing him continue to do. And Belichick's like, well, what's going on? You're supposed to ask me about this stuff. And that's really where the pissing contest began. And then Guerrero was kind of the chew toy that Belichick started to pull away from Brady to see what he'll do if he plays with Guerrero. And that only hardened feelings.
Petty.
Meanwhile, there's no contract coming in. And, you know, it snowballed the way anything does with a boss when it just ain't going good.
Tom, here's a great question. I know you've heard this. I know you've been asked this a ton, probably as soon as the schedule came out, and probably even more so in the last probably 2 weeks. You know, who wants to win this game more? Is it Bill or is it Brady? I'll tell you what I thought initially. I thought it was Belichick. I thought because, you know, Belichick has gotten rid of guys and he's made mistakes. And I think slowly but surely, and you've brought it up, Lloyd Malloy, Seymour, these mistakes, Chandler Jones, these mistakes are starting to come up and getting more and more. So I think getting rid of Brady or losing Brady, I thought that he would feel the need to win this one because he got rid of Brady. Who's the GOAT? Now he's coming back into his town after Brady won a Super Bowl last year. But then I'm like, well, Tom Brady is a guy that, you know, Belichick's like a father figure. You always want to make your father happy, or you want to be proud, or you want to beat your dad. So I don't know where the hell I'm at with this. I don't know who's going to win. Who do you think, and this, I think it'd be better coming from you, who do you think wants to win this one more?
I guess it's this. It's like they ask at the end of the year when you're doing a little bit of gambling and you want to put it on one side or the other and it's week 17. Who needs it more? Belichick needs it more. Belichick's team is 1-2 on the verge of 1-3. They haven't looked good in any of the 3 games. They are, 8-11 without Brady in New England.
Yeah.
If they get demolished on Sunday, and in the second half, it's a 15, 18-point lead, people in Foxborough are not going to be kind to the Patriots as they come on and off the field after 3 and outs. He doesn't need that spectacle. He doesn't need his owner shifting restlessly up in the box as his product gets booed, and the guy that he loves is on the other sideline slapping fives after another touchdown. I think Belichick needs it more.
Well, there it is.
What did I say yesterday, Brad?
Tom was the one that said
that makes sense, right?
That's exactly what I said yesterday.
I said Brady wants it more. That's what I said. You don't think Brady wants to stick it to him?
I don't know.
I'm Belichick.
Tommy, you don't think he wants to stick it to him?
I don't know.
I think you know what? I think there's an equal. He's got a lead. He can give up one, but he can give up a regular season game. But to me, it's if the Patriots win on Sunday night if they don't get blown out. Isn't that a wild thing to say?
They're getting 7 at home.
And that's where they are.
When do you ever see that?
And they'll be 0-3 at home if they don't win.
The crazy thing is, man, I'm sorry to cut you off, Ryan. I'm so sorry. The crazy thing is, I just feel like for Brady, as now I'm thinking about it, this game and for Brady over Belichick is for all the guys that Belichick got rid of because they got too old. Or they had nothing left to give. The Richard Seymours, the Lloyd Malloys, the Chandler Jones, the Tom Brady's trying to trade Gronk to the Lions. I feel like this game is for all those guys. Like Brady's putting all those guys on his back, and he's saying, "Don't worry, I got you, Seymour. Don't worry, Gronk, who's going to score 2 touchdowns that game." I think it's for everybody who Belichick thought that he could, figure out and put somewhere and do something better with.
Hey, Tom, let me ask you if I could, because I'm really curious about this as well. Brady walks into that stadium, he'll probably get a loud cheer, right? I mean,
Not probably.
Okay, he's gonna get a loud cheer. I mean, the Boston fan is a unique fan. In any way, shape, or form, are they rooting for Brady in this one? Or they're just all Patriots and Brady's the enemy? What's it going to be like in the stadium this week?
By and large, Brady will be the enemy, and you're going to hear more boos than you expect to hear.
Wow.
You absolutely. The reason being, there's a little too much grave dancing going on. It's a little, and people around here, as you know, it's like, okay, yeah, we're rooting for Tom. He's doing great. Oh, good, he won the Super Bowl. Okay, he won't shut up. And the people are starting to, whether it's commercials, whether it's his dad talking to me or Alex Guerrero talking to Karen Garigian or this book, it's like, okay, enough. We're all set, Tom. Okay, we knew you were good, we loved you, but now we've actually overdosed on you as an opponent. So I think that there is going to be there's more of Brady fatigue factor going on than anything else. It's nice if you break up with someone and they go on and have some fun. But if you just, and things are good, oh, I'm glad things are going well for her. But if every day you see a new Instagram post about how wonderful her life is,
it's Tommy,
hashtag living my best life.
Listen, I know you got to run, Tom, and no one in Detroit gives a damn about this question except me. But please tell me, why did Belichick screw the Jets?
He screwed Parcells.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it all comes around. It's all because he was all set with Bill, the same way Bill was all set with Tom.
Yeah.
He was tired of being the marionette to Bill Parcells, and Bill Parcells gamed that system because he knew that if once Carroll was fired, he had an opportunity. Kraft did to come and get Belichick. So he hurriedly, after the end of the season, resigned, which immediately made Belichick the head coach. And Belichick's like, you know what? Now you're manipulating my future. It's the same thing we're watching go on with Brady and Belichick.
He learned it from somebody.
It's all about controlling your future.
Yeah,
it's incredible stuff.
Would the Jets be the Patriots now if he stayed?
I don't know. Would they have drafted Tom Brady?
I don't know.
I'm asking you, Tom, because I'm a Jet fan. I'm asking you that.
Look, Chad I don't know. There was some good talent there. Chad Pennington was a quarterback who was better than I think most people think, and I bet you agree.
Yeah, Marshall, maybe.
The structure necessary. Yeah, he was a good player.
They had Braylon.
But
Braylon would have been an all-pro. Braylon would have been an all-pro. Wait, you were an all-pro.
Love Pennington.
2 AFC championship games.
We love our guys.
I want to ask you. Can we call next week and we'll talk about the Matt Patricia era?
Oh my God! Please.
Oh my God!
Please.
You just spoke our language.
Oh my God! Why are you cursing at us?
No. Tom, if you've got a day next week, please get with me. I would love to talk about this with you. Love to.
I am a card carrying, not a Matt Patricia.
Oh
guy.
my gosh! Well, we're gonna have a big
next week,
kumbaya.
I
mean, how can you hire a guy who allows Blake Bortles to riddle you in an AFC Championship game,
God, that's what I'm
and then
talking
gives
about.
up 41 to Nick Foles, and you're like, "This is our guy."
Oh my gosh!
He's a genius.
We're gonna pub this interview
Tom,
up. This is
we're
going to
explore this next time around. Please, we have got to talk to you about this next week. How about this? We'll recap the Patriots game,
yes,
and we'll get into the Patricia era next
Talk about
week.
Falling up.
Oh my
Talk
God.
about falling up.
Tommy Curran weekly right here on the bottom line.
Oh my gosh, Tom, we cannot thank you enough for your time. We certainly appreciate it. We
Thanks,
love
man.
you. Big fans. Follow him on Twitter at Tom E. Curran.
Use that E.
Yeah, absolutely. NBC
Don't forget
Sports.
the E.
Don't forget the E. NBC Sports Boston,
See you, man.
Patriots Insider. Unbelievable stuff. I cannot wait. Maz, you got to make that
I
happen
got it.
next week.
I got it.
Please. We got it. We'll react to the game, and then we'll get into the Patriots and Patricia era.
Ugh.
And is he in line to replace Bill Belichick?
Now that's a guess
We'll
right
ask
there.
him
That
about
was
all
great.
that stuff. Guys, I'm way over for a break. We're going to do a quick man chill out. We'll do that next. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. The
You
bottom
chill
line.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Legacy Partners Insurance. As you hear Ryan chewing on some ice in the background here, we got to give him a couple of seconds to drink his ice. Anyway, he's insured with Legacy Partners Insurance. His ice is as well because he wants the best deal for the best money, and that's Legacy Partners Insurance, an independent agent that's been around for over 100 years. They make the carriers compete for your business. If you need personal insurance, that means auto or home, you have 7 to 10 carriers fighting for you. For business and commercial, over 50. And like I said, over 100 years of quality service. They know what they're doing. Give them a call, 586-209-4106. Better yet, go online. Just fill out this thing. It's really easy. Woodward Sports right here. LegacyPartnersINS.com/Woodward Sports. It'll take you a minute. Fill out some information. Someone will get back to you and get you the best deal. Promise. You can save hundreds, maybe thousands a year. Legacy Partners Insurance. Tell them the boys at Bottom Line sent you.
I got to tell you, I don't think that I've done a more fun interview than that. That was fun. That was great.
I knew
he
he'd be
brought the
great.
energy to us.
Oh my gosh, is that awesome?
Yeah.
All right, so plenty of
It's like talking to Chad and Steve Johnson.
plenty of Belichick and Brady talk coming up. You guys want to do a man chill out?
Why not?
All right, hey,
Let's
we
do
got
it,
a
man.
little thing now we like to call man
Chill out.
You think it's funny?
Chill, Daddy.
Pack your bags, get the hell off. Now, do you understand what you did?
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
All right, I'll go first.
Oh, yeah.
How about this? What was my man chill out? It's one of those days. Oh, yes. Okay. Good. This is great.
Yes.
Yes. And this is going to be a big subject in the NBA. And I want to preface where I'm going with this in a minute.
Okay, take your
This is
time.
not going to be a COVID show.
Okay.
Like, this is not going to be a COVID show. However, as it relates to sports, this is going to be a very big topic when it comes to NBA players in the next couple of weeks. Media days going around all over the NBA right now. Everybody weighing in. Apparently, 90% of the NBA players are vaxxed. However, there's a number of players, a number of high-profile players that are not. Kyrie Irving.
LeBron just got vaccinated, by the way.
Yes.
He talked about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. LeBron James just got vaccinated after being hesitant to do so. He said yesterday he does believe it should be everybody's right to choose whatever they want to do with their body. Bradley Beal is not vaccinated. He got into it a little bit yesterday with some of the media.
Andrew Wiggins,
Kyrie. Now, the thing about it is these players, they can't play, like in California.
Yeah, Golden State's Arena,
Chase
Bank.
New York.
New York, yeah.
That is, if you look at Nets, Knicks, Warriors, Lakers, Clippers, are there only 3 teams in Sacramento. So there's 4 teams in California. So not only the players on those teams, but if you're an away player, you're looking at missing a minimum 7, 9, 10 games in the league. This is going to be a very big subject moving forward. The NBA came out today and said if an unvaccinated player cannot play, they will not pay them, and that's fine. So I guess my man chill out is, here's my man chill out on everybody that's got a strong opinion on this thing. Because you're going to hear a lot more of it.
Yeah, it's going to
You're going to hear a lot more of it as it relates to sports and the NBA, because the season is coming.
It's an opinion.
And so I would say to everybody who has all the answers, man, chill out. That's the best I could do today, to do a mini topic within a man, chill out.
I mean, everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
All right? That doesn't mean you're right. That's all I'm saying.
And that's where we'll leave it.
Yeah.
Unless you got something on that.
No, I mean, we don't have to talk about it.
You had something good.
At great length, I'm just saying, I just think if you're being paid tons of money and this is the profession you chose, and in this profession they are choosing to say you have to be vaccinated to play at this level. I mean, you're talking about receiving millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars, and the research that they're giving you is saying that it's making for a more healthier atmosphere in your particular arena or your particular practice stadium or your particular household. So I'd say at the end of the day, if it's 30 million or nothing, I'll take the 30 million to do something that people, with the research is showing.
Look, you and me both.
Yeah, the research is showing that. And you know what? I got to be vaccinated to do, 1, what I love. 2, take care of my family. 3, the research is showing it's healthier to have been vaccinated. You know what? Unless it's individuals that have argued every single vaccine ever. Like if it's an individual that has argued like the measles, like the mumps, the flu shots, like he's argued everything his whole life, and by all means.
Do we have the Jonathan Isaac, Alex? Did we have a shot? Because I saw this on Twitter yesterday, and Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic, whether you agree with him or not, okay? And this isn't about agreeing with or disagreeing with anybody in as far as I can see it. To me, this was a situation where I heard a player eloquently share why they are not vaccinated, which I actually haven't heard before. Right. It's just because I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Why aren't you vaccinated? Because I'm not. Why aren't you vaccinated? Because I'm not. So here's Jonathan Isaac of the Orlando Magic, really good player, sharing why he isn't doing it.
You don't want to get a vaccination, and were you misquoted in that article?
I would start by saying that I was pretty badly misrepresented in the Rolling Stone article, and because of that, I can understand anyone who may say they don't transparently or overtly trust the media. In a frustrated tweet yesterday, I had noted that true journalism was dying. And to that, I would say that I appreciate every single one of you, those that try their best to correctly share the thoughts, the ideas, and the heart of the people that they're asking questions of. I'm not anti-vax. I'm not anti-medicine. I'm not anti-science. I didn't come to my current vaccination status by studying Black history or watching Donald Trump press conferences. I have nothing but the utmost respect for every healthcare worker and person in Orlando and all across the world that have worked tirelessly to keep us safe. My mom has worked in healthcare for a really long time. I thank God, I'm grateful that I live in a society where vaccines are possible and we can protect ourselves and have the means to protect ourselves in the first place. But with that being said, it is my belief that the vaccine status of every person should be their own choice and completely up to them without bullying, without being pressured, or without being forced into doing so. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm uncomfortable with taking the vaccine at this time. I think that we're all different. We all come from different places. We've all had different experiences and hold dear to different beliefs. And what it is that you do with your body when it comes to putting medicine in there should be your choice, free of the ridicule and the opinion of others.
Wow.
That's the best thing I ever heard about the vax.
LeBron James essentially said the same thing, although
It didn't sound that good.
No, right. But I mean, I look, as somebody who gets paid to use words to have an opinion or explain something,
right.
I think that was as eloquent a situation that I've heard as for somebody to not do it. Now, if I was in his spot and I had like $30 million up for grabs that I wouldn't get paid on,
I'm just saying,
I would probably make a different decision.
Right.
But I don't have $300 million sitting in the bank in order to make that decision. So, look, it's an interesting thing. I commend Jonathan Isaac for standing up for something that he believes in. He said he previously had the virus, and to him, it was a situation where, as a professional athlete in good health, he thought that, whatever risk you may have wasn't worth it to him.
Not to mention, he feels like he already has achieved the regular antibodies for fighting COVID.
So, however you fall on the thing, that's as good as an explanation as you're going to get. Now, you could think,
done.
Yeah. So
that's it.
Yeah, best thing that came of that is regardless of what side you lie on, like, this is how you need to answer the question.
It's how you communicate.
Just communicate. All right.
If you communicate and don't judge, we'll be a lot better place.
Hell yeah.
Right. I'd say less. Like that's a home run. That's a home run right there. That's a
just
home
like
run.
Giancarlo Stanton.
That's what. I didn't go that far. That's 456, baby. All right. So my man, chill out today is Golden Tate recently said on, I want to say, Get Up this morning. I want to say it was. He said that if Matt Stafford would have not been drafted by the Detroit Lions. Good Morning Football, that's what it is. Good Morning Football, he said if Matt Stafford wasn't drafted by the Detroit Lions, that he would be as good, if not better, than Aaron Rodgers. Now, he wasn't saying specifically going to Green Bay, just saying if he didn't go to Detroit. That's a bunch of baloney. That is a bunch of baloney. Like, and the reason why I say that is, now I understand that the injuries, and I understand like the constant mental strain of playing in a city with bad, in previous years, bad management, bad ownership, bad coaching, etc., and going down the lines, that can weigh heavily on you. But it doesn't turn you from Matt Stafford to Aaron Rodgers, and I think they are a product of their systems. Aaron Rodgers was able to learn under Brett Favre for 4 years when he first got in the NFL. He did go to the Green Bay Packers, which is typically, historically, a winning franchise. But Aaron Rodgers is just a better quarterback, head and shoulders above Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford's arm is bigger, and Matt Stafford teammates like him more. I'll give you that. Matt Stafford may slightly be faster than Aaron Rodgers. I'll give you that. But when it comes to making the throws that no one can throw, when it comes to the ease of making these throws, when it comes to the reads, when it comes to breaking teams down, when it comes to just being a mental juggernaut as well as athletic juggernaut at a position which is the number one position in the sport, Matt Stafford would never be as good as Aaron Rodgers. And it's taking nothing away from the quarterback that is on the best team right now in football, which is Matt Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. But he would never be a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. I don't care what universe you were in, what team he played for. I don't care if Aaron Rodgers played for the Cleveland Browns and Aaron Rodgers played for the Detroit Lions. Go ahead.
Would it matter if Matt Stafford ends up with just as many Super Bowls?
I knew that was coming.
As Aaron Rodgers?
I knew that was coming. I knew that was. Well, we're actually going to talk about that. Stafford being on the first 3-0 team. Well, he's 3-0 right now. He only did that once in 12 years with Detroit. So we will talk about that. So let's save it for then.
Okay.
But let's save it then. But to Golden Tate, who's a former TA of mine, great pool player, great ping pong player. Actually, Golden Tate's really good at everything. I say to Golden Tate, man, chill out.
Chill out.
Hey, we'll never know, right?
Yeah.
We'll never know. Yeah. I know one thing. He's in a better situation now than he was.
And he is
last
living
year.
it up.
He's living it up in L.A. And he is. I'm happy for him. And I wish he could have been somewhere else because I think he would have been a great quarterback in the NFL. We're never going to find out.
This is true.
12 years in Detroit. It is what it is. I'll keep it on the Lions. I'll keep it short and sour for you. Lions, of course, giving up on Jamie Collins and deciding to let him go. One more piece left. Trey Flowers from the Quinn Trisha regime. He'll be gone soon as well because he can't stay on the field. But to get nothing for him, to me, there's no excuse to get nothing for him. I know people watch the tape. People see he's lost a step or whatever. But there's a scheme for Jamie Collins that he could still be successful. He got paid all that money, and I don't think he just fell off the table completely. I think he still has talent. I wish they would have maybe kept him around here, but I guess they have their reasons. They want to move on maybe from the last regime. That's what it looks like to me.
He may not want to be here, to be honest.
Well, you know what? Yeah, you probably.
I've seen some guys.
You could be right.
I've seen some guys folded in and kind of, that they're healthy, they could play, and they just
don't
want to be in Cleveland. A lot of players was like,
yeah.
No, I'm not feeling good.
There was word he wasn't giving it his all.
Yeah.
There was word. Remember, Dan Campbell even spoke about it.
Yeah.
It's not that he isn't giving it his all. He's giving it his all. So he's covered his bases because people talk. People see. He changed his number to number 8. I just can't see a linebacker at number 8. But nonetheless, here I am. To get nothing for him, to me, it's gross. Man, chill out.
That's tough.
Maz, I'll ask you the same question I posed in the first hour of the show. If Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn were leading this franchise,
we'd kill him.
And they came out and said, well, Jamie Collins is going to be put on the trade block and we're going to keep him home. We're going to explore trades. And then they ended up having to cut him and didn't get anything for him, Braylon.
Yeah.
We would absolutely be coming out here crucifying this organization. But because we like Dan Campbell and because we like Brad Holmes, oh, man, these guys are going to get it right.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
These guys get that free pass.
Not from me.
Because he is the guy,
guy.
that the personality that we the fan base loves in Dan Campbell. They give him the rope. And in this situation, you can easily just see someone saying, maybe, and I quote, this could be an example, oh, well, you know what? They thought Jamie was going to be a leader because he came over from the Patriots and he's had Super Bowl wins and he understands how to win, so they probably kept him. Then he just let the guys down. He didn't be the person that he was still going to be to Dan Campbell, to Brad Holmes, so then they had to get rid of him. It was too late. Like, that's the excuse they're going to give. Meanwhile, it was
that block M today, by the way, Braylon. I just can't take my eyes off you.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
So I guess there's no one on the team. Jamie Collins is not better than anyone on that linebacker corps. Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Okay.
He's probably.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So there's better.
Look.
He sucks so bad that they had to get rid of him.
Mass, relax. It's not about wins and losses
this
year. It's a rebuild.
I know.
It's a rebuild.
All
Be
right.
nice.
Mass, chill out.
It's not, you're not even. We don't even care if they win
done.
or lose. They're building towards something. Okay.
Yeah.
They're building towards something.
They're authentic.
You guys ready to have some fun next?
I'm ready.
Let's have some
We
fun.
are going to debut a new segment coming up next. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It is called Chair of Flames.
Flames.
I
swear to
we're gonna work
God.
on our presentation.
Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Ooh, it's hot in here.
It is hot.
Opa! Introducing Papa Romano's new Greek pizza, a tasty blend of bold Greek flavors and Mediterranean toppings, including feta cheese and Greek dressing. Get a large Greek pizza for a limited time for $16.99. Order now at paparomanos.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey gang, you want to start a new career? Do so in an industry that is always essential, the heating and cooling industry. Learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu. Braylon, a big fan.
I tell you like this, if you don't get that vaccine in the NBA, you're gonna be starting a new career now.
Look, I got to tell you,
starting a new career.
It is a head scratcher for me that one would choose not to get one when all that money's on the line. You like most of the players who are not have a contract upwards of $30 million a year. Like
they're not sellouts. You can say that. That's
crazy to me.
They're not sellouts.
Either way. All right.
You see this chair? You see this?
It's hot over there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Is
man.
that not the cheesiest looking?
It looks good though.
Chair you have ever seen in your life?
It looks like
comfy.
I just want. Is that?
Looks like a Burger King commercial.
Is that how hot it is under there for you, Maz?
No, it looks really comfy.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, if you're Matt Nagy.
Oh, man. All right, give me some music here. Here's what we're going to do.
Is this okay?
No, give me something different. This is ridiculous stuff. Give me something maybe a little bit more upbeat.
How about that?
Maybe a little bit more hot.
How about this?
I can't hear it. There. Okay.
Okay.
Here you go.
Is that okay?
What cut is that, Maz?
Cut number 7.
Cut number 7
Number
is going to be
seven,
the
no
Chair
name. I
of
love
Flame
it.
song, okay? Cut
Chair
number 7.
It's a little loud, though.
7.
That's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
Right. Because I don't think we're going to be...
So we call this chair number 7.
We call this chair number 7. Here's the deal. Braylon, we have 8 questions apiece.
I got mine.
And this is essentially like a pick one. I'm going to ask you a question. You pick one. And then
Rapid fire, though.
It's like a
Right.
rapid
Okay.
fire type situation.
And then I'm asking Maz.
Yep. And then
Maz asks you.
Yeah, we'll do a little round robin. We'll have some fun today.
Let's do it.
Dude, it's freaking Wednesday.
Don't we have fun every day?
Yeah, but this
Hump
is...
day.
Come on. It's a freaking Wednesday in the middle of the week.
All right, let's do it.
Okay?
All right.
Light that chair on fire.
Light it up. Light it up. I need a big graphic for it, too, pretty soon. Okay, you on that, Alex? Good job, Al, man. All right, Braylon, I come to you first.
No,
Here we
man,
go.
I'm hot.
Good job, Maz, on that music.
Because you're just going to give me all 8 of yours.
Cut
And
number 7.
And I'm going to give him all 8 of mine.
Yeah.
Seven.
Okay.
Seven.
Pause. Double pause.
All right. Is there something going on in my ear? No, nothing's going on in my ear.
You don't hear the
It's
music?
called imagination.
0.
I hear it.
I got it.
Okay, good. Very good. Thank you.
Number
All
7.
right, Braylon, here we go. Ready?
Ready.
Costco or Sam's Club?
Costco.
Chevy or Ford?
Forward.
ESPN Game Day, Fox Sports Big Noon Kickoff.
Fox Sports Big Noon Kickoff. Shout out to Brady Quinn.
Hulk Hogan or The Rock?
What? It's not even close to Rock.
Driving or sitting shotgun?
Driving.
Spring or fall?
Spring.
Apollo Creed or Mr. T?
Mr. T.
John Navarre or Chad Henne?
You mother. Chad.
Okay, all right.
That was tough. I'm sweating.
How about it?
I'm
He's
sweating.
sweating on that
I'm
one.
sweating.
He's hoping that clip don't get out.
Hey, you're a real piece of work over there, sir. Real piece of work.
you. I love
Maz,
you.
you
I
ready?
love you too.
I'm ready, Brad.
All right, here we go. Red Wings 95 through 02 or Pistons 85 through 91? So
Wow.
which dynasty you want? Do you want the Wings or the
That's
Pistons?
not a rapid fire.
Give me the wings.
Nah, that's rapid fire. Vodka or whiskey?
Neither.
Super Bowl or national championship?
Super Bowl.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Top Golf or Lucky Strike?
Lucky Strike.
Clemens in 86 or Gooden in 86?
Doc.
Whoop!
Doc.
Whoop! Yes!
Doc.
Izzo or Fisher?
Izzo.
Ooh, nice. Chicago or New York?
Come on.
See, it's funny because I didn't know
That
who
was
I
great.
was going to be asking. So some of mine were scripted towards you and some were scripted towards you.
We'll do them. Okay, now, Maz, you're up.
I'm up. I'm going to you?
Yeah.
All right. Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's?
Jimmy John's.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
KFC or Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
He brought KFC in
Yeah,
today.
I know.
Football or baseball?
Don't be ridiculous. Football.
Lions or Tigers?
Me.
All right. Red Wings or Pistons in their airs?
Pistons.
The 85 to 91? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Bad boys there. All right. Vodka or whiskey?
Vodka.
Super Bowl or national championship?
Super Bowl.
Winter or summer?
Winter.
Yeah, I'm a winter guy myself. I love
What's
winter.
wrong with you?
I don't like
Golf.
the heat.
Top Golf or Lucky Shot?
Top Golf.
Ew.
Lucky Strike, I should say. Top Golf, too. Clemens or Gooden? 1986.
Doc.
Dr. K.
Doc.
Doc was a problem in 85.
man.
And it's crazy. 85 was his best year.
Hey, remember when he threw his no-hitter, what was the back page of all the New York papers?
Dr. No.
Dr. No.
Dude,
Dr.
who
No.
didn't want to be Doc Gooden back in the day?
Awesome.
I mean, everybody
His taxi
loved
cab
him.
driver.
Oh, God.
Izzo or Fisher?
Is Fisher, Steve Fisher.
Chicago or New York?
Chicago.
Chicago, yeah. Chicago's a heck of a city, man.
I love Chicago.
Chicago's like, you can almost get all that you can get out of New York in the sample size,
cleaner.
but just clean it. I was
Yep.
about to say it's cleaner. It's a good
Cleaner.
sample
Big
size.
deal.
All
It's
right,
overrated.
now you hit.
All right, Bray.
You
All
hit
right,
up Braylon.
KFC or KFC or Chick-fil-A?
KFC.
That a boy. Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's?
Jersey Mike's.
Blondes or brunettes?
Blondes.
Or redheads?
Brunettes.
BK or Mickey D's?
BK sandwiches, but Mickey D's everything else.
Football or baseball?
Oh, man, football.
Lions or Tigers?
Tigers.
What do you hate more, New York or Chicago?
Chicago.
You don't hate
you
New
can't
York.
say that. You
Well, I
play for the
didn't make
Jets.
it for him.
Well, but I can say I hate the front office of the Jets.
How about L.A. or Chicago?
Ooh, you know what's funny is I'll take L.A. I never liked L.A.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't like LA.
I never liked L.A. and it's nice. Still don't like it though.
And finally, love more, Halloween or Christmas?
My mother would kill me on this show if I said Halloween.
Oh no,
and
kid.
Christmas.
I hate Halloween.
I love Halloween.
I
it's
hate
my
it.
favorite day.
Yeah.
It's my favorite season.
Why?
I just
I
love
do like the season.
I
though.
love October.
Oh, I love the season.
I love
It's just-
Halloween.
Halloween's
I
like
just love.
cider. I think of the cider mill, the
Yeah,
apple
yeah.
orchard.
It's
So I
the
do
new
love that.
Christmas, man. It
What are you
is.
talking about?
It is. Houses are decorated. The weather is phenomenal.
might
It's
be-
just so great.
But I'm
might
not
be
talking
some
about
truth
the
to that.
I'm not talking about the seasons.
I'm giving you. It's a whole. Christmas is a whole month, man. Halloween is the whole month. I like the Halloween. I love it. I
Okay,
love
do you
kids
like
going?
October 31st better than December 25th?
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
You're sick.
That's just the way. You know.
That's a New Jersey. That's a New
No,
Jersey
back in the
native right
day, I
there.
was always a huge Christmas guy. Back in the day,
Yeah.
it's as you get older. Come on, man.
There is a lot of
Really?
truth to that, though. It does change, especially like once the kids leave the house.
Right. What do you
Yeah,
got? What do we got? Christmas.
No, I mean I don't know. You going
It's
trick or treat?
Jesus' birthday. You know, I
going
wish him
trick or
happy
treat?
birthday.
You going trick or treat?
I do every year. I go with the kids.
Well,
or a
you
group of
dress-
kids.
you dress
I
up?
dress every
dressed
year.
up.
What do you dress up as?
We have homemade costumes. My wife makes
What
homemade.
do you dress
Oh
up
my
as?
God.
Like,
One year we go with cereal boxes.
Okay.
I was Tony the Tiger. I was a box of Frosted Flakes. Another year I went as a bottle of ketchup because that's my favorite.
Catsup.
You know, we all went as condiments. What else did
so
what else
great,
did she do?
by the way.
Oh God,
now
there's
look,
so
if
much.
you can get into it, okay, that's
I love
fine.
it.
I'm just having fun with
And I
you,
eat
man.
candy all night. Come on, man.
I know you're all sensitive
And then
and
I go
stuff, so I
home.
don't want to make fun of you
Then
too
I-
bad.
You don't have to make fun of me. I don't care. Then I go home and watch the World Series. Come on, there's not a better day.
Game 7 on October
Come on.
31st.
No, Game 7 is November
November
5th.
8th?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
November the 21st before they're done.
Look,
Shoot, the way-
on,
the
on
way they're
Thanksgiving
going, you're gonna
Day,
have to
it'll be the
switch to
Lions at
Christmas.
noon, the Cowboys at 4. Game 7 of the World Series.
Soon, the NBA is going to be competing with the MLB because that World Series
You're not
stretched
kidding.
to Christmas.
The chair of flames.
Oh, my
flames,
God. Was that
flames.
great or
That
what?
was fun.
That was fun.
That
All
was
right.
fun.
All right. Hey, we'll jump back into
I don't know
some-
how I'm going to come up with 8 new ones next time.
What do you mean? That's easy.
Yeah.
That's an easy thing.
I'm out.
Trucks,
I'm gassed
truck-
already.
trucks
What
are
do you-
car. Trucks are cars.
Right. What do you mean
Trees
you're
are flowers.
gassed?
Gassed.
How are you gassed after
How do you
that?
come up with eight new questions every week?
What are you?
It's not hard.
What are you talking about? You're gassed. I'm gassed. I'm gassed. Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network on the chair of flames, baby.
Flames.
The bottom line.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Oh, man. Papa
Hey,
Romano's
Papa.
handcrafts pieces that have made them a Detroit favorite for over 50 years. House-made dough, the hand-cut veggies, and fresh cheese make the difference. Makes all of the difference. Same quality goes into all their pizzas, salads, subs,
I
and
want to give you some
pitas.
music under you. You like
For
music
right
under
now. Go to paparomanos.com. Get yourself a pita, a pizza, salad. Get something. Show some love to Papa Romanos like they show love to us. Love it, baby.
Hey, couple of big news and notes in the NFL. Your boy
Okay.
Richard Sherman.
Yes, he did.
He does have a
Former
new team.
teammate.
And I love how Adam Schefter put out that Richard Sherman Richard Sherman says that he signed a contract with the Tampa Bay Bucks per source. Isn't that great?
That's amazing.
That is good.
But hey, that makes them better.
Yeah, it does. And, it's the thing that their secondary actually had some holes in it last year. But their defensive front and their linebackers, oh, my God, they were so good last year. JPP on that D-line. You had Golson on the D-line. You got Shaq Barrett coming off the edge. You got Devin White. They were so good that it actually caused you not to pay attention to their secondary. Got torched a little bit last season. Now that there's some injuries, you're starting to see them getting taken advantage of. So having Richard Sherman, it's the same thing I said about bringing him here. I said you have a guy. It's experienced, Super Bowl winner, been to 2 Super Bowls, 5-time All-Pro. It's a guy just to have around the system. So I think it's a real good pickup for them down there in Tampa.
And it's just another guy with championship experience that is a champion that goes to a team with champions and just falls in line.
Remember how he was trolling Tom
so
Brady?
Many times.
How you always trolled him after the game, during the games, and now I heard these guys are on the same team. Gotta love sport.
And pardon me, but good for Richard Sherman too that he's not done. And I told you this a long time ago. I am never a fan of judging a man by his worst moment. That's just not how I am. It's not what I do.
But if
we leave that to other people to do that.
Understood, but if you're in the front office, and this is just posing an opposition question, like if you're in the front office and you don't judge anyone from their worst moment, but what if their last moment was their worst moment? So you're looking at a situation where bringing him to a team where he's still going through some stuff and it probably won't get taken care of after the season, so he'll be able to play. But it's like this moment. I heard that question, I just thought about it. It said, you never judge the worst moment, but what about that worst moment was the last moment as you're trying to make a decision on it?
Couple of things about that. Well, it certainly takes somebody that wants to take a chance on you, one.
Right.
Maybe somebody that's been in a similar situation and believes in second or third chances or fourth chances, because many of them just aren't second chances. But, I'm not a big believer in the fact that, just if you make a mistake, if you get in trouble with the law, you should that disqualify you from working ever again?
Not at all.
So it takes a certain person in a leadership role, in this case, a general manager, a boss, to say, you know what? We're going to put you in a good position here, and it's up to you whether you want to succeed or not.
And it seems to be working for them. My apologies, man. It seems to be working for them. You see what happened with Antonio Brown. They picked him up midseason last year, and Antonio Brown had his fair off the field issues, and he was able to lock in. He was able to lock in, win a championship, get some off the field knee surgery this year, and he was doing well before the COVID deal. You think Leonard Fournette, they bring him in. So Rob Gronkowski was probably going to be done playing. They bring him in. So Bruce Arians he has the home. He has the home for players that I like it.
The word was San Francisco was just about to sign him when that incident happened. And recently, he had talked back with the 49ers, and he talked to his old team, the Seahawks, but he chose Tampa Bay.
I wonder why.
Yeah, right. And it's, for Tom Brady, too, because you mentioned that Richard Sherman was trolling Tom Brady over and over and over again. But, we talked about this in regards to the Patriots when people would go to the Patriots, whether it was a Josh Gordon or Antonio.
He just signed with the Chiefs.
He just signed with the Chiefs. Right. Josh Gordon or Antonio Brown or any of these guys that they fall in line when Tom Brady and that championship structure is around. You said if you ever went to New England, you would have fallen in line, shut your mouth, and you play.
Yeah, because the thing about it is when you play at a high level, usually you're going to be you're going to be the most talented person on that team if you're a high-level wide receiver like an Antonio Brown, or you'll be able to combat that quarterback. Antonio Brown could combat Ben Roethlisberger no matter what you say. He could combat him, argue, and to some extent you say would be better. But when you play with Tom and you play with TB12, it's like playing with Jordan, or it's like playing with Wayne Gretzky. You're playing with individuals that it's a different level of respect because they are the GOAT. They are the best at what they do. They arguably are the best in the sport ever. So when you're on those teams, man, whatever those guys say, you're just ready to lock in, you're ready to hone in, and you're ready to just whatever I need to do to have success, it's going to come, and I just want to learn.
You know what flies under the radar so many times, too, is you look at Brady, and we make this about Brady. If Brady didn't want Richard Sherman on the team, Richard Sherman wouldn't be on the team.
Not even close.
Okay. So here's a guy in Richard Sherman who for years, multiple times, over several years, trolled Tom Brady.
Yeah.
But he is a ball buster. That's his thing. That's his MO.
Sure, fine. But that doesn't rub with everybody the same way, right? I mean, I know a ball buster, and a ball buster can do one thing to one person and have a much different reaction to breaking somebody's balls.
When somebody does it to
that
them.
doesn't like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't work for everybody. Good for Tom Brady. You know what I mean? Good for Tom Brady that he has the ability to put all of that stuff off to the side and really fall in line with the Vince McMahon style of doing business.
Well,
anything
for the business that wins.
Bam.
Anything for the win. Anything on the right side for the win.
Anything that's good for business is good for me.
Yeah, well, you Super Bowl rings are good for business. Super Bowl rings are good for business, and you guess who has the most?
Right.
Tom Brady.
I'll tell you, man, those Buccaneers, man. That's one tough team. But they're going to get right at the end of the year, and they're going to be hard to beat. I know they're not undefeated like you said they'd be, but when it comes down to it, they really only care about winning the championship. That NFC, you got the Rams, you got the Buccaneers, the Packers, who are going to bet the Cowboys now. San Francisco might still make a good run. Carolina, that might come out of nowhere. I mean, that's jam-packed. Then you got the Chiefs in the AFC side.
Yeah. They just
1 and 2. They got to win this week.
Yeah, they got to win this week. I think the Chiefs have to win. I think the Bucks, they need to win as well. They both need to win this week. But the Bucks team is just so good. Like, once they get it all together, because they're still dealing with injuries. I think that's the big thing that's been kicking their butts. And they still performed at a high level. So once they get everybody back, I mean, you look at they were without Antonio Brown last week, and they had another Pro Bowler come back, and Chris Godwin. They have 3 Pro Bowlers in their wide receiver corps. Scotty Miller leaves. Antonio Brown comes back this week. So just a super talented team once they get everybody back from injury.
So we'll see what happens with Richard Sherman. I'm curious to see if he'll be in the lineup this week. You know more than I would. How quickly can a defensive back sign with a team, come in and play? I mean, we see it all the time where, like, we stopped doing that, by the way, Mess.
I heard it too.
I didn't even know I was doing it.
I got this earpiece in my ear, and it's like
thumping on my eardrum.
God come in off the street and contribute right away.
Yeah, well, he's an All-Pro. Like, he's 5-time All-Pro. He made the All-Decade team, the 2010, the 10 decade, if you will, so 10 through 20. Like, the guy knows how to play. He's played at a high level, and to me, he was underrated to a certain extent. But it's going to be, you got to get your footing. You got to get your footwork together. I will put him in zone, put him in slot a little bit, let him get his feet together, because it's not going to be there right away. Like, he may be in shape, but there's a difference between just in shape, like going across the street where there's a Planet Fitness, and going across the street, running on the treadmill and running some miles, or running around Birmingham and being in shape and lifting some good weights and running around the track. You can be in shape like that, but there's nothing like playing 60 minutes in pads and then running game shape, carrying the pass, stopping and going, tackling people, guys stiff arming you, guys working at the line of scrimmage. Your mental has to process through all that as well. So it takes a second to get in game shape, but it doesn't take people who are as good as Richard Sherman, who have operated at a level as he has his whole career, as long to get in shape.
Hey, what do you make of the Josh Gordon signing with Kansas City situation? I mean,
it's a great, what a toy that's going to be.
They need to check his blood and see if he's part feline. Because I would need to see if he's part cat, because he's got 9 lives.
Seriously.
And I love it because he's so quiet, and when you hear him talk, he's so genuine. He goes through the steps every time things happen to him, and I'm praying that this is the move. Like, I'm praying that this happens for him. It says something to him, and I don't want this to go under the radar since we're there. I don't want this to go under the radar. He's gotten 6 different chances, not just because he's an individual that's 6'3.5", that's built like Tarzan, that can run like Usain Bolt, kind of looks like Usain Bolt, like that just freak of nature as it relates to athletic ability and talent in football. Like, I can't name too many wide receivers, if ever any, that has had the more natural ability than him, just in terms of the whole package. But it says something about him that he keeps getting these chances. Yep. Coaches have to interview him. GMs have to interview him.
Isn't most of his chances, though, after failed weed tests?
Yeah. That's what it is. That's his issue.
And that's what I'm saying.
Does that bother you?
No.
It doesn't bother me either.
Especially if you see the piece that he did when he talked about how he got addicted to weed when he was young. Yep. He was like 12 years old, and they were feeding it to him like a neighborhood deal or whatever.
It shouldn't even be in our We shouldn't be talking about it anymore.
Everyone, it's a lot in pro sports. There's a lot of people that do anyway. It is what it is. Sometimes before games, so they just need to make it legal.
I mean, the one thing about the Josh Gordon signing, which is, an interesting one, because you talk about Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey.
Yeah.
I mean, they are mean over
Hardman.
there. Oh, Mercole Hardman or
Hilaire Edwards.
Clyde Edwards.
If he can hold the ball.
I mean, you want to talk about offensive explosion. Are you kidding me?
They got better today.
I mean,
they got better.
And they got to win a football game here. Look, they're 1-2. They're in last place. And they're going to make the playoffs.
Again. Now, you're one who loves to say this. If I would have told you, that's your thing.
What if I told you?
What if I told you that the Chiefs will be in last place after 3 weeks?
I would tell you you're nuts.
And the Broncos will be 3-0.
I would tell you you're nuts.
I don't care about the Broncos haven't played anybody. They haven't played anybody in, probably, Divine Child High School.
What if they played the Giants, the Jets, and Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Okay, so but you know what all those teams are?
Alex,
they're all
put
in
that
the
tweet
NFL.
up.
They're
There
all
it
in the NFL. Here you go.
Look at that tale of two teams.
But
look at the Raiders versus their 3-0 record.
I could go on record and say I think the Raiders could be better than the Rams.
No way. They're going to come back down to earth.
They're going to come back down to earth. The Rams do that too, though. I'm just saying, you can make the argument. You see what the Raiders have done from a defensive standpoint. Like they get to the quarterback. Like there's cornerbacks play in corner and man-to-man coverage well. They also are getting the ball out in the passing game. Derek Carr is coming into it. He's in a league of his own right now, passing the ball down the field. You can easily say the Raiders are better than the Rams right now.
I don't know about that one, Bray. I like the Raiders this year, but the Rams might be the best team in football.
The Rams beat up a Bucs team that had a lot of people out at home. I'm not taking anything away from that.
I know.
They almost lost to the Colts week 2.
And maybe this is a me issue. I did not think for a second, just because I've seen Matthew Stafford play 12 years of football in the NFL with the Detroit Lions, I didn't think for a second that team was for real. I think they are for real, the Rams. I think they are a team that could definitely win the Super Bowl this year. You see it now. Matthew Stafford had one 3-0 start in 12 seasons in Detroit. He's 1-for-1 here with the LA Rams. Now, that year they started the year 5-0 under Jim Schwartz and ended the year 6-5 after that.
They scuffled at the end.
Excuse me. 5-6.
They scuffled at the end.
They were 5-0 and then ended the year in their final 11 games 5-6 to finish 10-6 and lost the division, by the way.
You know what I think about that? And I think about this. He's in L.A., where for the first time ever in his career, he has an owner in Stan Kroenke, he has a GM in Les Snead, and he has a coach in Sean McVay, excuse me, that are all on the same team. They're all on the same team. They're all locked and loaded. They're all together. They are all in. Like there's no manager and coach over here and owner over there. There's no owner and manager conspire against the coach. There's no coach and owner and the manager's trying to figure it out. Or there's no random four-party of a president, messing things up. He has 3 people that are locked and loaded on the same page and are treating him like an intricate part of the organization. And it just is making everything fun out there. Now, it goes down the list. Obviously, really good defense. Obviously, great weapons at the offensive position. Obviously, his best friend is his left tackle. That's always reassuring from a worry safety point, having your left tackle as your best friend. All that, I'm telling you, having that 3-headed monster of the owner, the coach, and the GM be on the same page, works wonders.
I love Kelly Stafford, but she is just living her best life out there in LA now, man. Oh my gosh, living her best life. Guys, we're big fans of the Pat McAfee show.
Yes.
Pat McAfee
I love Pat McAfee,
is just
He's
one
a
of the
gem
most
in wrestling.
talented people in our business right now. Had some thoughts on Lions fans booing Sheila Ford Hamp the other day. You'll hear what Mr. McAfee had to say about that on his show. We'll play that for you next. This is Ronnie and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Morning, Art. Morning, D-Mac.
Hey everybody, let's talk about one of our newest friends here on Woodward Sports. It's Underdog Fantasy. The NFL season's underway, but you can still draft a new fantasy team each week on Underdog Fantasy to win cash prizes. Through their slick mobile app and user-friendly site, you can join a league and draft a team in minutes. Plus, the folks at Underdog are going to help you get started with a free $10 play when you sign up and make your first deposit with the promo code WSN. Just go to UnderdogFantasy.com, the App Store or the Google Play Store. Sign up with the code WSN. Deposit $10. You get $10 free. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code WSN.
Hey, there's something I knew I forgot to add to that Josh Gordon conversation.
What's that, Bray?
My brother played in that the fan league that was where the fans picked the plays and things of that
Did
nature.
he really?
And then actually, Richard Sherman was part owner of my brother's team.
Get
Speaking
outta
of Richard
here.
Sherman, and Josh Gordon had a chance to play on that team. That's when they reunited Josh Gordon, Flash, with Johnny Manziel, Johnny Money. Berkeley was on that team. And Berkeley told me that Josh Gordon was down to earth. He was humble, super quiet, but super good guy. Like, you can see somebody and tell what it is from him. Like, you can read their energy and kind of get a feel from him. And that's what my brother told me. So I forgot to throw that in there. And that was a double meaning because I forgot Richard Sherman actually is part owner of that team. So,
Wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Facts.
Hey, that's a fun league to watch last year. I was trying to keep up and comment on it. You watch it on Twitch, I believe, and I was trying to keep up. There's like 1 million comments a second.
I think we're on Twitch.
Yeah, we are.
How about that?
It's 1 million comments a second, man.
I'm sorry, man. I just sit here and do the show. I just sit here and do the show. However you're watching us, listening to us,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. We certainly appreciate it.
People got to listen not to like a take, though, right?
Yeah.
You got to be listening not like a take. I love it.
Hey, guys, we're big fans of Pat McAfee. God just tells it like it is. And we're
high energy.
We're probably as big a fans as we are of him because he's the color commentator on
WWE, baby.
SmackDown.
Yeah. Speaking of that, they're doing their draft. Friday, they start the draft.
Cannot wait. Friday night SmackDown, baby.
It's 8 o'clock, man, on Fox.
We're so into this. I'm hoping for a little Drew McIntyre action.
Ooh. They did him wrong, man.
They did him wrong.
He came back. He was evil. He was a heel. He was doing great when he was the bodyguard for Dolph Ziggler. And then even with his reign to get the belt, what he did to Brock Lesnar. As soon as he got the belt, they turned him into this nice 6'6" fake Celtic warrior.
I'm telling you. I know we got to do it. But hey, here's what Pat McAfee had to say. He had some strong thoughts about Lions fans booing Sheila Ford-Ham.
I feel like it was a little bit of a moral victory for Detroit. They should have won. If you say, hey, if this dude wouldn't have set a new NFL record, we would have beat a very good football team.
A moral victory? They booed their owner out of the stadium at halftime.
That's not the players. They didn't boo the players. Those guys played hard.
No, and they didn't boo Calvin Johnson either. But I do like the fact that the stadium, literally, do we have it? Listen to this. This is high-level heat, dude. This is real. This is a sustained high boo for the owner of the team that they have paid the tickets to go into the stadium to watch while they're about to introduce greatest player. You guys have, Barry Sanders, I guess. Greatest player, Hall of Famer, Calvin Johnson, that you guys fucked over at halftime. This is what the crowd did in Ford Field in Detroit this past weekend to the Detroit Lions owner, Sheila Ford-Ham. Listen to that. This is not modified.
That's not just a couple people.
It got louder as she started speaking.
Did she acknowledge it?
No, she stopped speaking a couple times. It was, it was
a horrible situation to be in.
Bro, and the 81's on the field, and Calvin Johnson's coming out. And when Calvin came, I assume it was a big pop. He spoke for 30 seconds. So I think it was the Lions fans letting old Sheila Ford-Ham know that the man you're about to celebrate right now, you have fucked over. And I like that is what the Lions fans have done. We'll still pay our money for this ticket. We'll still enable you as an owner. We'll still make money for you. We'll still come out here. But we would like to let you know, and hopefully your fucking family know, that we do not
down, please. Come on, guys.
But we're not on the radio yet.
Yeah,
it was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident. We certainly apologize for that language.
Easy, let that one slip.
Yeah, we try not to swear here on the program in the hours of 2 to 4. So certainly apologize if you're there with the little one, whatever the case may be. We'll work on never doing that again. But, Braylon, you asked me a good question. Are you okay with the booing?
Yeah.
And I think the answer is an unequivocal yes.
Yeah.
I am okay with the booing.
Me too.
And it does provide an indication how impatient and how serious fans are, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, this is not getting enough attention this week. There were only about 50,000 fans in that stadium.
Oh.
There were about 20,000.
This is 68,000.
Yeah, there are
seater.
about 20,000 light. I think that's a huge story to keep an eye on. And you're talking about you're playing against a player who is one of the most electrifying players in all the NFL.
Ever. In history.
Who won't be back until 2029 if the schedule falls the way it is now.
Right.
I don't think that is being talked about enough.
Yeah, and going back to it's definitely not being talked about enough. But before I lose my train of thought, to answer your question, I have no problem with it as well. I don't think the Lions fans get enough opportunities to get in front of the owner. And a lot of that frustration that they were taking out, a lot of the boos that Sheila Ford Hemp was getting, which she walked into a barrage of, I don't know what the heck is going on here. A lot of that is yelled at Patricia and Quinn and the regime before her and the ownership for the past 20, 30, 40 years. So it's not all directed
60.
My apologies. 60. It's not all directed at her at all, in no way, shape, fashion, or form. But it's the only chance you get every blue moon to be in front of the owner of the Detroit Lions at the time, who you pay all your money, your hard-earned money to go see, which you buy clothes and paraphernalia and then go into games and buy hot dogs and Cokes and sodas, et cetera, and you tailgate. So you're like trying to, show and display your uneasiness with what they've done in the years and the decades, especially as they're honoring a person who they still haven't got it right with. So I have no problem with the fans.
The owner is not in front of the fans like that.
Nah.
She
won't be again, I tell you that.
There is no scenario, and just to anybody who may be uncomfortable by the fact that Sheila got booed, would you be uncomfortable if it was a man?
I was just about to say the same thing.
If that was a man?
Gary Bettman and Roger Goodell get booed. Rob Manfred get booed.
God.
During the Stanley Cup, he's giving the trophy out. Bettman gets rained out by boos. So it just comes with the territory.
Right. The best thing I see in terms of boos to cheers and somebody getting his sock to him was when Roger Goodell had to give that MVP to Tom Brady after they beat the Falcons. That's one of the best moments ever.
But this ain't third grade Pee Wee football either. You know what I mean? This is the National Football League, where if you don't win, you get booed.
Yeah.
And that's just where it is. Hey, guys, we're going to do our bottom line videos of the day. We'll do that next. This is Armani and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you...
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 five-star reviews.
The Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Hey, everybody, Levels in Centerline, they're open, and right now you can get 10% off just by mentioning Woodward Sports. Whether you're in the store or on the app, make sure you mention us, Woodward Sports, to get 10% off. Everything from T Grizzlies gas to D-Max, special strain and edibles, all on sale right now. Download the Enjoy Levels app and start saving.
Maz, I'm sorry, I cut you off. I got to a break before I got your thought on that. Did you have Did you want to clean up a thought on the Sheila booing?
I'm all for it, to tell you the truth. That's when the fans can do what they want to do. I mean, it's the only time they get a chance to talk, and if that's what they wanted to tell her, that's what they did. Calvin Johnson was there. He was kind of uncomfortable, but in a way,
I bet he
was loving it. He was loving every minute of it. Him and his wife. Matter of fact, he whispered in his wife's ear. You saw him smile a little bit. Let's face it, man. We all know that they should have handed him a check for $1.6 million. I know we make fun of it. The Publishers Clearinghouse check that Ed McMahon used to give out. She should have showed up and made amends. Now, I'm not sure how it works with the NFL salary cap and all of that stuff. And if that's not the case,
she can pull it out of her private bank.
Take it. I love it. Take it out of her pocketbook. Take it out of your purse.
So that money has been there since the Model T. So.
I mean, you're selling plenty of Fords. Okay, the stadium is yours. Everything that goes in that stadium goes right in the Ford family's pocket. I mean, Rod Wood was not there, and there's a reason he was not there. There's a reason Rod Wood, the president, was not there. It's because he's the straw that stirs the drink in the back of the house. She's listening to him.
And that's the other thing about Calvin, and you can just look at it. You see him, even in the midst of all that, and the fans are booing, and Calvin's excited about the booing to a certain extent, because now it makes him right. It makes him right and talks about what the organization did to him, what they owe him, made him give back. But even with that, Calvin still said, come on, keep it down a little bit. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, he didn't have to do that. You do that because you're naturally a good person.
Correct.
He's a good person that's owed 1.6. The fans know it. They know it. So, once again, me, Maz, and Ryan are all on the give Calvin that 1.6 train.
For any fan who's uncomfortable with the booing, tell me another opportunity that the fans in mass will have to let Sheila know how they feel about it.
Tailgates, Thanksgiving dinner, Halloween. No, none of that. You won't see them. They're inaccessible.
It doesn't happen.
They clap big time when Calvin got up.
Yeah.
So anyone that says it's classless or whatever like that, it's not.
Right.
It's 60 years of losing.
And by the way, no offense, Calvin loved it.
He
would never admit that to you.
Sure did.
And there's not a million years or 1.6 million ways you can ask him about it. He'll tell you the same thing. That he'll give you the PC answer. He loved that deep down inside. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
Calvin Johnson!
Happy birthday, Megatron!
And he's on with Big D Energy tomorrow at noon. Make sure you guys tune in.
There you go.
Special announcement tomorrow.
All right, Maz, here we go. Bottom line videos of the day. Kick us off.
Check this guy out in Florida. Catching a gator with a big garbage can. I mean, this guy, he's George of the jungle. Check it out.
Right there. Let me know when the head going inside. Let me know. Somebody let me know when the head going inside. I got you.
I don't know what that like. There's no way I would ever take my eyes off the alligator though.
Look at this. He drops the top now. Watch.
Look at my people. Look at my brother.
Get him!
Get in there! Get in there!
Oh, now
Get
what's
in
he
there.
gonna do?
He's gonna lift it.
He's gonna flip it up.
No, he's not.
He's gonna flip it up.
No way.
Look at the string.
It's just gonna knock over the can.
Nope.
That's what. Hey,
look at that.
Look at that.
All in flip-flops, in slides with socks.
When was this?
I'm gonna tell you like that. My people are amazing. Where is he at? What is his information? Because the Detroit Lions could use him.
That's strength.
Where would you play him at?
Holy.
Anywhere he
middle
wants.
linebacker?
Anywhere he wants.
He's got feet. That's middle linebacker feet right there.
Now, when was this?
I don't know. I found it on
There's
Twitter.
your Micah Parsons right there.
I love Micah Parsons.
That's your Micah Parsons right there.
All right, what do you got, Maz?
All right.
Move ahead here. Why don't you go to what's happening 3 weeks from tonight?
You want me to?
Yeah, I like that.
Be like the Simpsons.
3 weeks from tonight, hockey goes back to where it always belonged.
CBC?
That too.
We're not into hockey for the fame or the hype. We're into hockey for this kid and his mom. For the guys in Detroit cutting out early to catch a Wings game. And this man in Denver watching the Avs on a TV older than the franchise. We're into hockey for the fans in Vegas waiting for the desert to freeze over. And the ones in Tampa hoping lightning strikes thrice. We're in it for this upstanding young Philadelphian and every bartender in Quincy. We're into hockey for Matt Dumba, Seth Jones, and anyone that's ever been told, stick to basketball. Hockey's for the diehards and the faithful. It's for every rookie in Seattle. And it's for us, because honest to Stanley, we're fans too. The NHL on ESPN, ESPN+, Hulu, and ABC. All for
Goose pimples.
Isn't that great? How do you not?
That stuff, all that on us. Yo, I'm telling you.
How do you not?
NBA is always ahead of the curve as it relates to just pretty much anything. But you know where that comes from. That's the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, the NFL is always ahead of the curve in terms of those videos that pour out the emotion that you feel and, like, the hearts and the fans. Like, that stuff was great. I go for thrice, and a guy watching the Avs on a TV older than the franchise. Like, that stuff was good. That stuff was
real good. I'm
and
excited.
The great
for
Sean McDonough on the mic.
Look, man, I hope the Red Wings get it together real soon. I mean, the Tigers feel like they're going to compete next year, right?
Even the Pistons, and granted, they only won 20 games last year. They were the most 20-win game season. I mean, 20-win team to watch last year.
Yeah.
They were exciting.
They were.
A lot of upside. Goris is doing a lot with that franchise, bringing back. They are headed on the right track.
I mean, if you rank those teams, and maybe we could talk about this more tomorrow. If you rank those teams, you'd say in terms of rebuild, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Lions.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even know if you could put the Red Wings in front of the Lions.
Yeah, you
because
can.
I haven't seen the Red Wings.
You can.
I'll tell you this.
I went to a game
Maybe
last
we'll
year.
do this tomorrow. Because there isn't a player on the Red Wings that I saw last year that I'm excited about.
Larkin.
Okay.
I'm not excited about
He went
him.
to Michigan.
How about Alex Nedeljkovic, your new goalie, with Thomas Grice?
Now, I got to see it.
Yeah.
Just
right.
saying.
Okay.
Let's talk about it tomorrow.
We can.
We got one more for you here.
I got one here. This is LeBron James the other night, of course, was on with the Mannings. They're talking about how he could have had a football career. Check out LeBron in high school playing some football.
Just playing JV ball. That just took a couple of games. And then we finally figured it out that we had somebody special. In the right situation,
He's a little bit bigger than the other guys.
In the collegiate level,
Taller.
he probably wouldn't have made it for 4 years. He'd have been drafted maybe by the time he was a sophomore, junior. That's how good he was. But I say, what would you compare a guy to? Randy Moss.
Be careful.
A player as athletic as LeBron James, it doesn't shock me that he could have played pro in
a couple
of different things. Like, if you weren't a pro football player, you know, we had talked about this before. You could have been
track baseball,
a pro baseball player.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, and
for me, it was the NFL or bust. I couldn't have played baseball professionally.
The CFL or bust.
The thing about that too,
the Arena League or bust.
Calvin's not only is not Calvin, but LeBron. Now we're talking about 6'5" plus guys that are tall and talented. But no, with LeBron James was built like a man in high school, in middle school. So he already had the athletic, the physicality of being a built wide receiver. I think he'd have been a great wide receiver. And he's 6'8". So people automatically want to make him a tight end. It's like, oh, he's 6'8", make him a tight end, or put him in Travis Kelce. I put his butt out there wide out.
Right.
I put him in wide. Like you saw what he was doing on the field.
Let him go against some 5'9" guy, 5'10" guy.
He said if I had a quarterback, I would have been a football player because I would have played wide receiver.
Yeah.
And I would have been just fine. And you know what? He plays basketball like he plays football. Let's face it. He charges into people. He travels. And he does all that kind of stuff.
You know he runs 4.4. And the good thing about LeBron is they've actually scripted the game of football kind of for him. It's less physical now. You can't touch as much when they're checking him or covering him. I think he would have been a heck of a wide receiver. Can you imagine that?
6'8.5"
wide receiver.
You see the Lakers team picture tonight?
I mean, LeBron.
I just want to call him. Here's LeBron.
And the rest Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo.
Here's the rest
Russell
of his sheep.
Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony.
I call them the sheep.
Dwight Howard.
The LA sheep. That's what they are.
Is Kentavious Caldwell-Pope still on that team?
They got rid of him.
He's gone.
Where's he?
They're
look for him.
They're going to win it all.
No, they're not.
Who's going to beat them?
I don't think they are.
Who's going to beat them? Barring injury.
Not barring injury. That counts because they're all 50 years old.
But we're saying that particular team. We're talking about that team right there.
We can talk about that again.
I'm talking them minus 3 people because they got injured.
You are great, my friend. Maz, you are great. I love you guys. Alex Mayer,
See
Fish.
ya.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, hell of a day on a Wednesday. Hey, tell a friend about us, will you? We are on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch.
Yeah.
All of the social media sites, and of course, anywhere where podcasts were found will pop up right now at 401. Anywhere where you hear a podcast, go ahead, download that Woodward Sports app as well. Braylon, take us out.
Michigan versus everybody, baby. You know what time it is. This is Armani and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line! You heard it from here.
Would never lead to a month where he's hitting around 100.
Here's one that's up above the zone, lined out to right, and what a play! Adolis Garcia was cheating like mad.
That ball has never been caught in this ballpark before.
The only